Well, here's one we haven't seen in a while. I actually haven't touched this car in about a year. It's my daughter's mother's car, also known as my ex-girlfriend's car. We've driven this thing a lot. I think we got it shortly after it hit 150,000 miles, and then for a couple years off and on we'd borrow it from her grandma. I watched it hit 150,000. Watched it hit 200,000, and it just hit 250,000 last year, and then it took a shit. But before we split, I ended up doing a timing belt job on it, motor mounts. Started having electrical problems about the time we split and moved to our separate places. But started first was cooling fans quit turning on, the car would overheat. Everything checked out except for the fuse box, so I ended up jerry-rigging it with some wire and toggle switch to run the fan. That fixed that issue for about 6 months, I think. And then transmission went into limp mode. Transmission wouldn't shift by itself. It'd go up to about 50, but the RPMs would be up real high, so anything over 20 miles an hour was a bad idea. And it got to a point to where daughter's mother couldn't drive it, so it ended up sitting for about a year. I always knew it was a TIPM module, basically a fuse box, totally integrated power module. Finally, I had time to go out there today. Ended up taking out the air cleaner assembly. Fuse box is down here. It's about a 5-minute job. Pulled the old one out, put the new one in. The new one came from a junkyard I work at. Put that in. Car started right up like it just started right up on the first hit with the key. Obviously I had to jump the fucking battery with the jump box. Started up, ran rough for a couple minutes, and it started to smooth out. Put $10 worth of fresh fuel on top of it. And driving it just backing it out of the parking lot and then driving down the street. It shifted from first to second, from second to third. Went to the gas station, put in fuel, took it around town. Realized that it's shifting now. So I was like, yep. We drove it an hour back to the garage. And what I'm going to do is replace the radiator. A couple of years ago, or a year, I can't remember. It's been a while. Ended up putting K-seal on it because the radiator leaked somewhere here at the top. Wiring harness for the cooling fan was butchered, so I'm going to replace that. I got a new cooling fan, I got a new radiator for it. This is all junkyard stuff, but stuff works. Tires look pretty decent still. I'm going to do an oil change on it, change the transmission fluid and filter, obviously get new antifreeze. I'm going to replace the hood because the hood is damaged right here. Swap out the front bumper. Passenger doors got damage to them. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then the trunk lid also has a rust hole in it and some damage. Their salvage yard I work at, PT Cruiser, came in exactly like it. I damn near shit myself because it's hard to find this color. The first generation color is different from the second generation color. I think this is like a fire cherry or some shit, or I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, I ended up getting the doors, front bumper, and trunk lid. Just still got the trunk lid at work to put on this car. Got that at an all-you-can-carry event. There's a replacement hood. Its tailgate's getting replaced. Also replacing the freaking taillights because them taillights are freaking stupid. They're aftermarket ones from eBay. Let's see. Yep, I got stock OEM replacements right there. Don't have room for this, but daughter's mother, she needs a car up and running. Her grandma's car is taking a shit. And I figured I would screw with this for about a week after work, every other day. I get these parts put on the car, put on this, and that'll free up some space. So, yep, named this thing Big Mama a couple years ago. Not too bad. 253,000 miles on it. It's only been on a tow truck a couple times that I can remember. Starter went out. Had starter issues. 2 times that it's been in my care. It's been on a tow truck twice, and it was starter related issues. But, that's it for this one.